confidence. Effortlessly, you let them know who is in command. You just that and more. Don't forget it. God worked hard on you for sure. Lexus, Exodus. Shout out to my exes.
Class is in session every weekend with Sunday School with Lex. Connect with like-minded Black women every Sunday at 6 on the Lexus Exodus platform, where we have live panels and call-in shows in order to connect and share our stories, discuss divestment and other important topics pertaining to the plights of Black women, discuss self-empowerment and self-improvement, and much, much more. Tune in every Sunday at 6 p.m. ET at patreon.com/LexusExodus. See you soon.
Hey, boos, hey. It is Lexus Exodus, leader of the Black Women Exodus. How are y'all doing? And like always, if you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. Please share. Please comment in the comment section. Let me know that you're listening. Also, if you enjoy listening to my content on the go, the show is now available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts for audio listeners. Go check out my Patreon community where you can get access to bonus episodes and exclusive content and also a private community of like-minded divested women. It is linked below. Please also follow me on social media platforms. You can check me out everywhere on all platforms at Lexus Exodus. I also have a backup channel just in case something happens to this one. It is called LexX. That's LEXEX. You can find all of this information in the description below. Tonight, let's talk about Black women being content with being the cleanup crew and how many of us are collectively okay with playing second fiddle and being whack male's last resort only after they hit rock bottom. So Dusties will overlook these women while in their heyday, when they've signed these multi-million-dollar record contracts and movie deals and have signed these 8-figure sports contracts. When they're at the peak of their careers and rolling in the dough and affluent and established, they will overlook these women to partner with white, non-Black, and racially ambiguous women. However, as soon as they fumble the bag, as soon as they become broken, as soon as they fall off and the roles dry up and stop coming in, some athletes get injuries, some other whack male celebs oftentimes get involved in legal issues and they lose it all. As soon as that happens, they come running to Black women who are eagerly sitting there like little dummies, like little sad little puppy dogs, arms wide open, ready to clean up the mess these dudes created now that they are at rock bottom. Child. So let's first talk about Tyrese, who is a prime example of this. And I want to rewind back when he went through that tumultuous divorce with that racially ambiguous lady and how Tyrese came crying to the internet, having mental breakdowns and ish every other week. If you don't remember, let's look back.
It's my truth. I was with a woman named Samantha for 5 years. We got married. We had a 1-year-old beautiful child named Soraya. And she just left me out the blue. And never came back. And I never cheated. No physical domestic violence. No side chick. No infidelity. Nothing. No going through my phone and seeing something was going on. Nothing. As a matter of fact, it ain't funny, but the running joke is the only other woman I kissed in 5 years was Naomi Harris' forehead in the movie Black and Blue. Didn't even get no lips out of it, you know?
So you don't think she ever loved you?
I don't think she ever loved me. Because if she did, it wouldn't be that easy to leave.
This is all I got. This is all I got. Don't take my baby, okay? I've been away from my baby for 2 months. I just just want my baby. And no one's listening because no one's in the courtroom. I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm not doing anything illegal, but I don't want nobody. Oh my God, am I doing something illegal by doing this video, or am I protected by the First Right Amendment or the amendment? Don't take my baby. I'm at $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me? Oh my God.
Okay. And now that she done left this nignog high and dry, she's getting a bag. She's collecting $20,000 in child support. And we know he's complaining and moaning and making R&B songs about how she didn't love him and only wanted him for his money. She done dragged him through the coals, left him high and dry, heartbroken and unhinged. Here he go, calling in the cleanup crew. And now we see Black women eager to pick up the pieces.
I'm able to tell you that after my recent heartbreak, I didn't think it would be possible to like or love or ever allow myself to be liked or loved, ever. And then came God. He said, I'm going to send you exactly what I know you need. I'm in a new relationship. I've been with my girl now for 2 years, and she's incredible. She's sweet. She's kind. Probably the most patient and nurturing woman God could have ever sent me, because there's nothing more uncomfortable than getting in a relationship with someone while they're in the middle of a departure from their ex.
That's what I was going to ask you. Have you healed?
No, but I haven't healed like all the way.
So why not be single first?
That's not my choice.
Elaborate. What do you mean?
Well, it's not meant for everybody to be alone after a painful, depressing breakup, because that's how people kill themselves. Some people go into a state of depression and they never get out of it because they want to isolate and say, until I get all my shit together, I don't even want to give love a shot. I think love can help you to love again if you allow yourself. So I think that's a tradition that a whole lot of women I find could find themselves sticking to. I know niggas is like, oh, niggas, soon we break up, we in the club, we out. That wasn't my approach. But I knew that I was so traumatized and shook and confused that I did not need to be alone, and I also didn't need to be in no clubs. I didn't need to be some old-ass man out, snatching booty off the pole and just bringing random chicks to my crib because the game is open again, So I met this woman. We both faithful to each other. We've been together for 2 years. Yesterday was our 2nd year anniversary. And
Congrats.
Thank you. And, Zelly never asked to be here.
So do y'all hear this nonsense? Really, Black women, do y'all hear this mess that you all are tolerating? This man is clearly not well. He even says vocally he's not healed. This is a broken man. Clearly, there's a psychological component at play here. I mean, back then, he went on tirades for about a month straight years ago, going on these maniacal rants every other day, having these manic episodes and public meltdowns online, crying in public, so much so that the internet coined the nickname Cry Reese for him. This woman left him in such a bad mental state. He's talking about he can't be alone because he's depressed and don't want to off himself. So y'all tell me, don't take my word for it. Y'all tell me honestly, Black woman who's listening, does that sound like someone in the appropriate place today? Does that sound like someone in a healed and healthy space who is able to give his all, his undivided attention to this beautiful Black woman like she deserves? No, he says so. He says, no, I'm not healed. I'm not well. But he finds the nearest Black woman who he calls nurturing, loving, and caring to nurse him back to health. She is his rebound. She is a part of the cleanup crew, and Black women are okay with it. She is not his first choice. She was not worthy of the happy, healthy, affluent, prosperous, at the top of his career version of Tyrese. When they are at the peak of their mental, physical, financial, and professional health and wellness, that version is reserved for white and racially ambiguous women.
So this beautiful chocolate, racially unambiguous Black woman who with an Afrocentric phenotype, she's only worthy of the broken version of him, apparently. She is solely there to be of servitude and service to him. Now that he is at rock bottom, she is a part of the cleanup crew. Let's talk about how Jeezy is also guilty of this as well. After his marriage didn't work out with Jeannie Mai, here he goes talking about how he needs Black women. Ciao.
New details on Jeezy and Jeannie Mai going their separate ways after 2 years of marriage.
Jeezy and I are a team.
Just days after E.T. learned the rapper filed for divorce from the TV host, we're now hearing the two weren't on the same page when it came to certain family values and expectations.
And we all know what we want. We want to feel trusted. We want to feel loved. We want to feel safe.
Our source adding they had different views and each felt like their needs weren't being completely met.
How's everything?
Amazing.
How's
The family's great. Baby's big.
That's Jeezy speaking with E.T. in June. No warning signs, but gushing over the couple's almost 2-year-old daughter, Monaco.
Yeah, it's calling me daddy now, so we there.
According to Jeezy's filing, a prenup was signed and there is no hope for reconciliation.
I cannot believe, as every parent will tell you, how much a child changes your life.
Right.
And Jeezy is seeking joint custody of their little girl.
So now that he's divorced and his fit, feminine, and submissive Asian wife has left his eye in the dust, here he come running back to Black women. And here we go, like goofballs. Women like Nia Long are sitting there with open arms and a cape, eager to save the day.
At times when we're at our lowest, we need our sisters, just like you guys need your brothers. And that's why this conversation was so real, because I hope and I pray that this conversation can open up different conversations in our culture about being there for each other.
So Black women, how did that make you feel? Like, knowing the whole story, how, and it's absolutely nothing wrong with interracial relationships, but it seems to me, when he said especially, it triggered me. Now that I'm at rock bottom, I need my sisters. Well, where were you at when you were at the top? You didn't have no use for us then. Now it's Black women and Black men need each other. I don't know about that, y'all. It just feels like it's pandering. All of a sudden, now it's, you penning a letter to Black women. You're using a Black woman to interview you. You're uplifting her in real time. But the reality is that, everybody always has something to say about us being too rough, too difficult, too loud. All of these negative stereotypes of Black women. And it just does not.
So let me ask you this, Jeezy. At what point did you realize this? At what point did you realize it was integral and imperative for you to have a Black woman? Was it after your Black baby mama number one, who was there in the trenches with you at the beginning, before the fame, when you was broke, who you pumped and dumped and left a single mother, who later would have to chase your trifling ass down and sue you for child support to take care of the seed you created, because after getting famous and successful, you bounced and left her and your child to struggle in the projects to fend for themselves? Is that when you recognized you needed a Black woman, Jeezy? Or was it after Black baby mama number two, who, because he had a little bit more money, was lighter and brighter, but was still Black? So you refused to commit to her and to give her a ring as well. And you just pumped and dumped her too and cheated on her with Jeannie Mai, allegedly. Or you just now realizing it. You just now realizing that you need a Black woman after Jeannie Mai, your preference didn't drag you through the coals. You done got dragged by this Asian woman who you fetishized while you were at the top. Things went to hell in a handbasket. Now you divorced. Now you at rock bottom. Only when you're at your lowest, you realize you need a Black woman. Told y'all, they don't want you on the way to the top. They don't want you at the top. They want you at rock bottom. They want you to be the cleanup crew, the last resort, ready to pick up the pieces when all else fails. Do not fall for this Black woman. So let's also get to Jonathan Majors calling him Megan Good and her goofy ass eager to be a part of his cleanup crew like this as well. And if you didn't know and have been living under a rock, this slave face struggle actor made a few appearances on screen. His IMDb looked like mine, bitch. I'm not gonna lie, he is no A-lister at all. He might as well be a YouTuber. You would have thought he was
Denzel Washington, though, the way Black women came out the woodwork caping for his ass. So I personally remember Jonathan from Lovecraft Country, and that's it. And the only reason why I'm familiar with that series is because I love horror. And I really enjoyed that Lovecraft was a horror series centered around minority women. We don't get many depictions of women of color on the big screen and on TV. So I enjoyed that. Other than that, nobody really watched the series. I enjoyed it. It was good, but it was canceled after the first season, child. So there's that. So nobody was checking for him except for Black women. Well, this big nose nanker went and got a plain faced white woman, a basic Becky. They all do. We know that's their MO. Turns out he was Ike Turner in her ass. He done got caught up, and now his Black ass has been convicted of assault for harming her. And here's a refresher of these charges if you're not familiar.
Overnight, and Creed 3 actor Jonathan Majors arrested on an charge here in New York City over an alleged domestic dispute. A rep for the actor saying he's done, quote, nothing wrong. ABC's Jacqueline Lee is here with the latest. And Jacqueline, his team saying they're looking to clear his name.
That's right, Janae. Good morning. Hollywood actor Jonathan Majors facing some very serious allegations. The 33-year-old was arrested in New York City Saturday morning, charged with assault and harassment after an alleged domestic dispute with a 30-year-old woman. His representative denying the accusations, saying in a statement, he has done nothing wrong. We look forward to clearing his name and clearing this up. Majors is known for his high-profile work on the big and small screen, with credits including Creed 3, Ant-Man and the Wasp. In a statement to the Associated Press, police say Majors was no longer in custody as of Saturday night. As for the condition of the woman he allegedly assaulted, police say she sustained minor injuries to her head and neck and was taken to the hospital.
It's a bizarre rant as actor Jonathan Majors berates his ex-girlfriend Grace Jabari. Majors is upset that she'd gone out partying.
Do you really know, baby? Do you really?
Yes.
Then how dare you come home drunk and disturb the peace of our house when we have a plan?
He then tells Jabari that she needs to emulate two iconic women.
Coretta Scott King. You know who that is? That's Martin Luther King's wife. Michelle Obama. Barack Obama's wife.
I know, I'm not. I shouldn't have gone out. I'm sorry.
The ex-girlfriend secretly recorded the argument in 2022.
I'm a great man. A great man. I am doing great things, not just for me, but for my culture and for the world. That is actually the position I'm in.
The defense rested its case without calling Jonathan Majors to the stand, but the actor was seen wiping away tears as his attorney made closing arguments to the jury in which she accused the ex-girlfriend of telling little white lies and also big lies. Anything to say about the video evidence, Jonathan? As the jury deliberates, they will consider this jaw-dropping surveillance tape where it appears Jabari is pursuing Majors after a physical back and forth in the SUV over a text he received from another woman named Cleopatra. And then the big moment where Majors is accused of pushing her back into the SUV. The next day is when Jabari is found on the floor of the walk-in closet. Majors called cops when he couldn't get inside.
I banged on the door. I've been at the apartment for about 40 minutes now. I couldn't get in. I finally went downstairs and asked the doorman to help us. They let me in via the handyman.
In the aftermath, cops are seen talking to Majors. They look around the apartment, from the bedroom with the unmade bed to the sprawling living room area. Majors is seen on the phone. Then Jabari surfaces dressed in a sweatshirt and jeans. She leaves the apartment and is seen making calls on the elevator.
Actor Jonathan Majors is dropped from all future Marvel projects after he was found guilty of assaulting his former girlfriend. That's according to the Associated Press just minutes ago. A New York jury convicted Jonathan Majors of assault and harassment today, all stemming from that domestic dispute in March. ABC's Rena Roy has more.
This verdict came after about 5 hours of deliberations over the course of 3 days. Jonathan Majors found guilty of 1 count of assault and 1 count of harassment, but acquitted on an aggravated harassment charge and another count of assault. Majors stood to hear the verdict being read in Manhattan criminal court, but didn't appear to have much of a reaction. His ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari, accused him of fracturing her finger and cutting her ear after she grabbed his phone when a message popped up from another woman. This all allegedly unfolding back in March in the backseat of an SUV. The defense accusing Jabari of making up her allegations out of revenge for Majors breaking off the relationship. The mixed verdict signals the jury believed Majors recklessly Jabari, but did not intentionally do so. Majors will be back in court in February for sentencing on those 2 counts. The judge renewed an order of protection that prevents Majors from any contact with Jabari. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
So he was convicted. Did you know he was in Creed and Ant-Man though, y'all? I literally had no idea until I watched this clip. And then again, I don't watch Marvel movies or superhero movies. So I guess that makes more sense though, because I remember one of the major call outs here that they were saying is apparently he was set to star in his own Marvel movie where he was a superhero called Kang, y'all. Kang, K-A-N-G. Also tickled. The jokes write themselves, y'all. K-A-N-G. The truth is stranger than fiction, y'all. I swear the universe is trolling Black women at this point for our stupidity. How ironic is it that the same community that enables, coddles, and capes for problematic, abusive, and violent Black men and call them Kangs, there was set to be a movie about a problematic, abusive, and violent Black male called Kang. You can't make this ish up. Anyway, the Kang movie got pulled by Disney. They done pulled the plug on that nonsense real quick as soon as it came out that he was convicted. We also saw in this clip an Army commercial he played in was pulled as well, along with a slew of other endorsements and acting gigs that would have catapulted his career. They all got nixed. And after losing it all at the hands of a crooked-nosed, basic Becky white woman, guess who he calls in to put on the cape and save the day? Megan Good.
It's calling me. I couldn't help myself. Here it is. Super Mammy. I mean, come the hell on.
It's Super Mammy. Shout out to Tanya TKO. That clip cracks me up. That's the original creator who came up with that clip and that phrase. Go check out her channel. Black women all around the world broke out the cape for Jonathan to coddle and make excuses for this nignogg's problematic behavior in true mammy fashion. Happy to be the cleanup crew. As a matter of fact, not only did Megan Good be his ride or die and accompany this ugly bell pepper nosed nignog in court, she was also present during his first interview when he spoke out for the first time after the conviction.
The 34-year-old actor was a rising star.
This is our family story.
Known for his roles in HBO's Lovecraft Country, Creed 3.
I'm coming for everything.
And Marvel productions like last year's Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
You're an interesting man. Scott Lang.
And it was on that movie set back in 2021 where he met 30-year-old British dancer Grace Jabari. The pair dated until March of 2023 when Majors called 911 the day after a fight that was caught on surveillance video.
What happened exactly? Do you know?
No, I don't know. But she's my ex-partner. We broke up. I came back. She sent me text messages insinuating as much. I stayed in a hotel last night. I came home this morning.
Police found Jabari on the closet floor of their apartment. Majors was arrested by New York City police, accused by Jabari of assault and harassment, convicted last month, but acquitted of 1 count of assault and 1 count of aggravated harassment, meaning the jury didn't believe he assaulted her intentionally.
Your reaction to that verdict?
Shock. I was absolutely shocked, and afraid. I'm standing there, and the verdict comes down. I say, how is that possible? Based off the evidence, based off the prosecution's evidence, let alone our evidence. How is that possible?
After the verdict, in a statement, Jabari's attorney wrote in part, "Justice was finally served today, proving that the truth can prevail even in the face of power. Grace did not choose to be in this situation. Grace has been publicly attacked as a result of her courage to testify to the truth, but her unwavering resolve to see this case through to the end was born out of her desire to give other survivors similar courage when justice requires."
This is literally a nightmare. I don't know what happened. I don't know what injuries you're talking about.
The July incident, 2022, where she says you started throwing things, including a candle. Tell us what happened there.
You know, we were in an argument. I was on the other side of the room, away from her, as I think she testified. And by my bedside table, I did a sweep, and I knocked over my candles. I completely lost my temper in that moment and threw it all on the ground. What she also said is that afterwards I wept and cried in the corner and said I was sorry and this and this and this and this. And I was, and I am.
The prosecution said you allegedly wrote, "I'm a monster, a horrible man, not capable of love. I'm killing myself soon. I've already put things in motion." Were you?
I've been diagnosed with severe depression, you know, and I'm taking the steps needed to alleviate, you know, some of those symptoms, ideations of removing myself from situations permanently is a thought that I've had, since I was a kid.
It all came to a head in March of last year when Jabari and Majors got into a fight, much of it captured on surveillance video and used as evidence in the trial. Jabari testified that it all began when Majors received a text from another woman. He says it read, "Oh, how I wish to be kissing you."
So let's go back to March 25th for a moment. You and then girlfriend Grace Jabari are in the backseat of a chauffeured car. She sees a text from another woman. Things seem to spiral from there. Yeah. What happened next?
Yeah, the text from another woman. Again, I said at the beginning, you know, I did that. I did that. I cop to it. I show her, right? It's in my hand. She grabs it. We scuffle for the phone. I pull the phone back. I receive my injuries. I open the door. I step out. She comes. Then one of the biggest mistakes of my life. I pick her up. I put her back in the car. I'm trying to get rid of her. I'm trying to get away from her. As the video shows, you know, everything calms. We get out. We walk across the street. I escort her across the street. The moment we get across the street, she grabs me. She goes for the phone. I release. I get free of her and I run.
For block. She says inside the car, you hit her in the face,
yeah.
Twist her arm behind her back, fracture her middle finger.
Yeah, that did not happen.
What happened?
She went to grab the phone. I held the phone. I pulled the phone back. She came on top of me, squeezed my face, slapped me. That's all I remember.
So she ends up with a 1-inch cut behind her ear.
Laceration, yes, ma'am.
Fractured finger.
Yeah.
How did those injuries come about?
I wish to God I knew. That would give clarity. That would give me some type of peace about it.
But you're confident you didn't cause
I have no question.
What's interesting about the jury's verdict, it's so nuanced because they're saying you didn't intend to injure her.
Right.
But the result of your recklessness injured her.
Right.
Were you reckless?
I was reckless with her heart.
Not with her body.
Not with her body.
But never hit a woman.
Never hit a woman. My hands have never struck a woman, ever.
Jonathan, how do you feel right During the trial, an audio recording was presented in court by the prosecution of Jonathan Majors and Grace Jabari during an argument.
How dare you come home drunk and disturb the peace of our house? Coretta Scott King. You know who that is? That's Martin Luther King's wife. Michelle Obama. Barack Obama's wife. My temper, my shit my travel, blah, all that said, right? And I'm not saying I'm a great man. A great man. I am doing great things, not just for me, but for my culture and for the world. That is actually the position I'm in. The woman that supports me, that I support, that needs to be a great woman.
There are some who question, especially in the black community, as you're probably well aware, that people were saying, well, why was he telling this woman to be like Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama? Give us like the context of the conversation.
It was me trying to give an analogy of what it is I'm aspiring to be. You know, these great men, Martin, President Obama, and trying to give a reference point to that. I was attempting, and I did a terrible job at it apparently, I was attempting to motivate, to enlighten, to give perspective as into what it is I was hoping to get out of the relationship. I think that's fair.
In her closing argument, your attorney said that your greatest fear of being a black man in America calling 911 came true, suggesting that race was a part of this. Do you feel that race is a part of this?
I mean, yeah, of course it is, you know, like, without question. I mean, that quote-unquote guilty verdict, you know, well, guilty verdict, no quote-unquote, you know, like, you might as well put that on my birth certificate.
You think a white man facing the same allegations would have been arrested, charged, convicted?
I'll take it further. If you watch those videos and you reverse that, and you saw a black man chasing a young white girl down the street, screaming and crying, that man is going to be shot and killed in the streets of New York City. That black man will feel that.
Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's office responded saying in part that they do their speaking in court. Jabari's attorney responded to this interview saying it is not at all surprising that Mr. Majors continues to take no accountability for his actions. His denigration of our jury system is not dissimilar from the above-the-law attitude that he has maintained throughout this legal process. The timing of these new statements demonstrates a clear lack of remorse for the actions for which he was found guilty and should make the sentencing decisions fairly easy for the court. Mr. Jabari will continue to speak the truth and seek justice in the appropriate forums in a continued effort to respect our legal process. Throughout the trial, Major's girlfriend, actress Megan Good, was right by his side. She was also present for our conversation.
You've mentioned Megan a few times.
Yeah.
We've seen her right by your side, going in and out of court throughout the whole trial.
Yeah.
How would you describe your relationship?
It's a miracle. She's an angel. She's held me down like a Coretta, you know. I'm so blessed to have her, you know. The relationship is still fresh, but, you know, I think I found her, yeah.
The one.
I hope she just stick with me.
This man is so damn ugly, y'all. So f***ing ugly. I will never, ever forgive black women for gaslighting the rest of us, for calling a thing and stating how objectively unattractive this man was and y'all attacking us for it. I will never forgive y'all for pretending this nigga is cute and arguing us down for simply calling a thing. Child, even Kat said it.
First of all, they went around the world for 2 years straight telling any women that would listen that this was a good-looking Negro.
Mm-hmm.
Since when? When did y'all start liking a big nose? And when did y'all like a little head and a big jaw? When? Since when? That look like my daddy. When you start liking my daddy? You like black people's features like that? If this ugly nigga is good looking, then all niggas is good looking. Anytime you see them telling you something you can't believe, just understand it's a play. And it don't matter. You gonna know it's a play as soon as they get in that position and think they gonna tell somebody something No, you're not. No, you're not. Marvel will cancel you you won't be allowed to read a comic book. What is you talking about? Ah, get out of here. Get out of here, ugly boy.
This bell pepper nose having eggnog. He looks like Jay-Z. Big lip, big nose, eggnog. He looks like Jay-Z. He has a camel face like Jay-Z. They could be brothers. This ogre face nigga. Like Kat said, when have we ever pedestalized someone with a wrinkly forehead, a small peanut head, and huge lips and Jackson 5 nostrils? When have we ever said that was attractive? Y'all kill me. And the gag is these very same fucking traits y'all worship, these basic niggas over, they denigrate you for having ugly ass nigga. And what's the girl, Ari Lennox, denigrated for her features. They still to this day dragging her, beautiful woman, dragging her, calling her Rottweilers and monkeys and apes and itch. So those same features y'all pedestalize this man over, they denigrate and degrade and berate you over, and y'all want to gaslight us for saying that he's not attractive. Fuck y'all, for real. And then here he go, trying to gaslight us, pretending he's not abusive and he's unproblematic. And he over there, meanwhile, whole time knocking that white woman's head between the washer and damn dryer. She got bumps and bruises to prove it in the black eyes and in pictures. And he want to lie, even though all this photographic evidence is live, Asian in color. He want to lie and talk about he didn't abuse her body, just her mind. Just her mind. Oh, this is mush mouth nonsense. Y'all see, y'all kill me with this. The gag is, too, this is not an isolated event. As soon as these allegations came out, a slew of people who knew him and who attended college with him also said it was a well-known fact that he's a narcissist and an abusive asshole who has a history of being violent towards women. And as if it wasn't bad enough that he was beating this basic Becky, this fool's so damn delusional. He whopped this white woman upside her head, then turned around in the same breath and told her she need to act like Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama. Remember I said the truth is stranger than fiction. I'm convinced Earth is on its last season, and on this one, I guess we getting punked, child. Because he told this basic, hook-nosed white woman to be like the Coretta Scott King. He and that's the bigger guy. He want to be like MLK so bad, who also enjoyed basic white women, who also has a documented history of philandering with basic hook-nosed white women. Child, you can't make this ish up. But here we go. And here go black women still supporting this dumb, ugly nigga. Instead of actually getting a Coretta or a Michelle Obama, he told this basic bird brain Becky to mimic Coretta and Michelle. First off, this is blasphemy. Ugly. Don't you ever be so cavalier and disrespectful to casually utter the names of these magnificent, great, intelligent, incredible, established, melanated black goddesses to your basic Becky as if there is a comparison. There is no comparison, ugly. Put some respect on their names, you big lip bitch. Secondly, so you pretty much saying you desire the labor of black women. They all do. They desire your emotional labor. They want your love and your nurturing nature. They want your doting dedication and your ride or die demeanor. Black women, they just don't want you. What he called Megan Good in this interview, his ride or die. He said verbatim, she was riding for me. That's what he wants. That's what they all want. But packaged in a white woman body. Just like these nignogs will denigrate you for your weight and for being loud and ghetto, then we'll turn around and find a white woman with a BBL and a lace front and a black scent. He love your curves and your hips and your big booty and your swag. He like all that, but he want all those attributes packaged in a white woman. And here go Megan Good being a damn clown supporting this ish. Here come the cleanup crew. Here come the Cape. Here comes Superman me. After things went to hell in a handbasket with his preference, with his first choice, he done lost his entire career, credibility, and reputation. He rock bottom now. Here he come running back to black women. Here we go, welcoming them with open arms. Megan Good, stupid, goofy, happy to be a part of the cleanup crew. Didn't want you on the way up, but now he wants you now that he's on the way down. I'm gonna need black women to do better. Don't be nobody's last resort. Megan Good collectively all over the world, Black women should have said, oh well, not my problem. Should have chose better, eggnog. You big nose nigga. That's his problem. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Anyways, that's all I got, y'all. What do y'all think about the tendency that these affluent, successful celebrity dudes have the habit of partnering with Black women when they're at the peak of their success? However, seek Black women, phenotypically Black women, to be their partners when they hit rock bottom. What do y'all think about the Jonathan Majors situation and his guilty conviction? Moreover, what do you think about Megan Good being happy to sign up as a cleanup crew with the cape to be Superman to help pick up the pieces? I'm so curious to hear y'all's thoughts. Please sound off down below. Until next time, see you guys. Bye.
Even if you think I should, bitch, nigga, I don't give.
If y'all come across a red iPhone, can you please bring it to the sound stage? Red iPhone, appreciate it.